Hello and welcome. This video is going to address Tier 6 Battleship ranking for the ranked season that's upcoming. I'm going to start with the battleship that I don't have, the Mutsu. Since it's very similar to the Nagato, you're going to be playing it the same way. This is the first of my picks. I'm only going to be doing the top three of the battleships I think you should play. This ranked season. That doesn't mean you can't play any other BB, but these are going to be the top three competitive, and I'm going to explain why. So the Mutsu is similar to a Nagato, and how you're going to want to spec it out, the captain skills, is not dissimilar to what I have here. You want your AFT to dissuade planes, and you want fire prevention, basics of survivability, high alert, and priority target. Now you can modify this a little bit. You could add more AA, but keep in mind that the Mutsu, because it's not actually going to be the Nagato that you're going to have, but the Mutsu, which is a premium tier 6 battleship based on the Nagato A hull, it's not going to have very good AA, so that's going to be the weak point of the ship. It's not going to be terrible, but it's certainly not going to be in the class of good. The real key and the real reason why you want to use the Mutsu in ranked this season for tier 6 is going to be her 16-inch guns. They're going to overmatch anything you have to fight, and this is going to mean a lot for you. In addition, you're going to also be protected from 14-inch shells. Should you be bow on, your armor cannot be overmatched, so it's going to be hard for people to damage you unless they have 15-inch or 16-inch guns, because you're fighting another Mutsu. The accuracy of the ship is very good too, so you should be consistent and constant threat to cruisers, and you should be always hitting any target that's bigger than that, aka battleships or larger cruisers like the Graf Spee. So the Mutsu is a solid pick and number one for the ranks upcoming season. Now, I don't personally have the Mutsu, but based on my experience with the Nagato, that's where I'm basing it and why I think it'll be number one this season. In addition, don't forget the Mutsu does have torpedoes, which is a bonus that several people do forget from time to time. It's not a consistent bonus, obviously, but it's something to consider. You do have torpedoes, and that is something you can use to defend yourself. When we go look at number two for the battleship picks, we're going to be going to look at the Warspite. A lot of people are going to be surprised at this pick, having expected the Bayern to take it with its superior armor, but there's a reason why the Warspite is in second place. It's not her AA, it's not her maneuverability, although her maneuverability is fine. Her AA is not. It's not her concealment, which is only decent. It's really the accuracy of the main guns that make the Warspite. So the Warspite really benefits from shooting at a target and hitting it, whereas her German counterpart isn't so accurate. Now the Warspite's another premium ship, so you might be wondering, when Derek, do you have a non-premium tiering? I will go through that right after this. Now the Bayern's going to figure in as at number 3, but right now we're going to stick with the Warspite. And again, big thing are her guns. You're going to have to play her very carefully because she's a very fragile ship, and beware of planes. The Warspite has virtually no defense, even against tier 6 planes. So beware of planes. You're going to want to spec her similar to the Nagato, as we saw earlier, albeit, really the AA isn't going to make much of a difference. You could spec in AFT and BFT for a little bit better damage to planes, but it's not going to make a huge difference. I recommend going survivability. That means high alert. That means basics of survivability. That means fire prevention. And the reason you want high alert is you want your repair to come up off cooldown as quickly as possible. Cannot stress. The Warspite has a quick reload time for a damage control party, but it's not active for very long. So you're going to need that because you're probably going to be repairing a lot. So that's the Warspite, and that's why it's number 2 on the list. When we go to number 3, we've got the Bayern, and the Bayern really is a fantastic ship, with the exception of her accuracy. Let's take a quick look at the Bayern. The reason why the Bayern is so strong is she has the 15-inch guns, same as the Warspite. They overmatch 25 millimeters of bow armor, anything that's 25 millimeters, basically. They'll overmatch it, meaning you should be guaranteed damage if you're shooting properly, and that is important. When we look at the Bayern, though, she doesn't have a 25 millimeter bow at the front to penetrate. So when properly angled, people will have to hit the upper bow or the fore the under the fore end plating, that armor belt's 30 millimeters. So if you're bow on, you're virtually invincible unless they hit you right here at the top, and that's a tough shot to make. Not a lot of room there, not a lot of latitude. The side armor is virtually invulnerable as it's 200 and 150 millimeters respectively. It's a fore-end armor belt. Virtually no other battleship in the game, tier 6 higher, has this. They're all using one form or another of the all-or-nothing armor scheme. So the Bayern's going to be bouncing shells like crazy. It's going to be difficult to damage if she's being played properly. Now her 15-inch guns don't have a lot of accuracy, but what she makes up for lack of accuracy is decent maneuverability, decent speed, but extremely effective AA. Her anti-aircraft armament, unspec'd, is 100 damage. With manual AA, AFT, and BFT, that jumps up to 116, since manual AA doubles the average damage per second from these guns. That jumps up to a staggering 232, which should violate any tier 6 planes you see, making this ship a solid pick. The only reason it's not in number 2 is because her guns simply are nowhere near as accurate as the Warspite, plus the Bayern has very weak torpedo defense system. So keep that in mind when playing this ranked season. My three picks in order are the Mutsu, the Warspite, followed by the Bayern. If you have no access to premium ships, then it would go as follows. And I'm not going to go into detail about the Fuso and the New Mexico, but it goes as follows, all right? The Bayern will be number 1. You're going to need the overmatch and the armor to support you, and the AA. It's an all-around package. The Fuso would be number 2. The only thing the Fuso really has over the New Mexico is maneuverability, a slight speed maneuverability over the New Mexico, and faster firing guns. And then the New Mexico, which really suffers. She's too slow. She's the least accurate of the bunch, and she's got decent AA, but that's it. And the reality is her AA is not as strong as her counterpart, the Bayern, and that is problematic for the New Mexico. So I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. My previous video was taken down because I wanted to redo this video and keep it a little bit more concentrated. Please let me know what you thought. And at the same time, stay tuned because there will be a cruiser video of my top 3 picks and a destroyer video of my top 3 picks for this ranked season for World of Warships at Tier 6. Take care, folks. Be well, and talk to you soon.